Great morning. Let me make sure that you guys got your cameras on. I want you guys to be able to see. I want to be able to see you. So let's get it. All right, gang. Let me make sure I get the rest of these guys in here. Let me get some shout outs first and foremost. You guys know I like my shout outs. Great morning, Avis. Great morning, Alan. Good to see you.
Great morning.
Angela. Welcome. Great morning, Anthony Sharp. Good morning, Antoinetta. Great morning, Mommy. I love you. Great morning, Crystal Jackson. Great morning, Wallace. Great morning, Tiger, that is. Great morning, Lamisha. I love you, baby. Great morning, Joseph. Great morning, Taisha. Keep kicking ass out there. Great morning, Kimberly. Happy belated birthday. You know I wasn't going to forget you. Great morning, Leah. Great morning, Miss Haywood. Welcome. Good to see you. You should always be on this call. Mathali, great morning. All right, guys. Let's get.
It's Tiffany, not Kimberly.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's not Kimberly. Forgive me, guys. That's too many Red Bulls. So, not Kimberly, Tiffany. Happy birthday. I must have been thinking about you, Kim. I want to give you extra birthdays. Listen, guys, this is our 1, 2, 3, 4, and even sometimes 5K earners call. This is the call where we get a chance to prove to the rest of the world that it can be done, and it's being done right here at Bridge the Gap Marketing. So what I do now at this point, I like to throw the ball around. I like to throw the ball around to the leadership team so that they can announce who's kicking ass and taking names. So with that being said, we're going to start off in Virginia today. Virginia, Crystal, who making money out there?
Well, we got a couple people making some money. So we got Avis Green coming at $1,105 and no cents.
All right, all right, all right.
Let's
All
go.
right, Miss Avis, do it.
What? If it don't make money, it don't make sense, right? Hey, run your own race at your own pace. That's all you got to do. That's all I'm doing.
Bars. She just dropped some bars.
Great job, Avis. Who making money out there, guys? Who else, Crystal?
Myself coming in at $1,439.10.
Let's talk about it.
Let's go.
Good job, Crystal.
Yes.
She says she back, yo. Watch out.
Okay.
Yo, Sal, I told you, you've been motivating me. I've been on it. I've been slam dunking. Where you at?
Yeah, good job.
I'll get this paycheck. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be watching you. Well, you know I'm watching you, and now I'm watching you. I'm watching Taisha. When y'all put up a sale, I got two. Got to stay ahead to get ahead.
Yeah, I've been watching you too.
I appreciate it.
Great job, guys. All right, now that brings us to Philadelphia, and since I do not have Talia, and I don't think I have Reginald on, correct? Reginald, are you on? All right.
No, he's not here.
All right, great. So with that being said, hopefully you guys don't mind me announcing your 1K earners. And we only have one inside of Philadelphia this week here. So guys, we got to make sure that we give it up with $1,393.50. Joseph Mandeshay, guys, give it up for him.
Let's go, yo.
Great job, Joseph. Great job.
All right.
Thank you,
Let's go.
family. And yeah, what I wanted to say today is that I appreciate everybody and thanks everybody who is on the call today and the people who are still active, because it's not easy to deal with rejection and a lot of stuff every day. So, but I appreciate the people who are still showing up and don't quit.
Right on. Thank you, Joseph. You know, with that being said, guys, I mean, you know, I just want to make sure that we echo the same sentiments here. Now, at this point here, you guys know the end of the week, when it comes Friday, we just like to make sure, man, that you guys get celebrated, because if no one else is going to celebrate you, right, you have to celebrate you. And this is us celebrating us right now. So it's important that you're on this call, right? And hopefully you're not upset because you didn't make it, because all it's going to take is some elbow grease and for you to get out of the mindset that you're in. Which definitely brings me to my message this week here. The message is how to go from employee to self-employed. And one of the greatest times in my life is when I got introduced to actually self-learning, self-development. It was one of the greatest times in my life. Why? Because, I went through the most growth during this time. I mean, it was blowing my mind. I literally had a CEO of a company look at me and tell me to turn off the TV. And when he said this to me, and he's passed away now, but somebody that I definitely looked at for many years as a mentor, right? And I never had a chance to have in-depth conversations with him, but because I met him and he specifically gave that message to me at a time in my life where all I knew was I wanted to be successful. And then obviously, thank God, I took his advice inside of my home now. I do not have a TV inside of my house to this day, even though I do have kids, even though I do have, family. Right? I took his advice, and everyone around me thought that I was crazy. Everyone around me. And then I cut off my hair shortly after that. Everyone around me thought I was crazy again. But I was prepared to get so radical because I could see already that it wasn't for me. If it was going to be an employee, if I was going to be an employee, I wasn't going to be able to be happy. And if you understand that about yourself right now, then you need to take full advantage of this opportunity. And one of the things that really helped me get my life together was this book right here. This book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is a book that I suggest for everybody and anybody inside of their life right now, right? And obviously, you can't get this in your life early enough. I'll tell you guys a story. My father, entrepreneur, but what did he want from me? He wanted me to go to college. He wanted me to get a good job. He used to say to me, man, don't do like I did. Don't have to work as hard as I worked. Little did he know, right, that that's the way to financial freedom. He wanted me to take a city test. He wanted me to get a city job. He wanted me to have good medical benefits. This is what he wanted for me, right? He wanted me to stay in college, right? It was go to college or get out my house. These were the values that he instilled in me from young. But thank God I did what he did. I followed his actions more so than I followed his words, right? Because he had this book on his nightstand. I remember it as a child. I remember, you're going to remember it after this day. This black and purple book, once you read this book, you're going to understand life on a totally different level. And thank God he had it. And then obviously, as I became a man, and obviously once I read it, and as I started to get deeper inside of my entrepreneurship journey, I realized, like, hold up, this is America. You have to sell a product or you have to build a company. But no one broke it down quite like he did inside of this book, this Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? And one of the things that I'm going to do for you guys today is I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to draw a whiteboard. Now, my handwriting is not perfect, obviously, guys, but I want to give you guys the key principle of this book and how to go from an employee to self-employed and possibly even become a business owner and even become an investor. He thinks of it as the quadrant, and there's 4 inside of a quadrant. That's why he calls it a quadrant. Let me get you guys in here. I still hear some people dinging. Let me make sure that I get Dudley and get Justin in here. I want them to be a part of this as well. So first and foremost, guys, right, if you guys can see my screen, can you guys see my screen right now?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
So with that being said here, I'm going to draw what I call a quadrant. And thank God that this thing right here makes it easy for me. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be in terms of handwriting, right? But I am going to need to make sure that I get this correct. All right, obviously we got 4 here. Now let me get over here. Everybody starts off what, obviously, guys? What do we all start off with?
Employee.
Employee, guys. Now, as an employee, right now, something that you got to know about an employee. What does an employee does? They negotiate their
Pay
salary.
taxes.
Absolutely, and they pay taxes. We're gonna get to that, right? Obviously, right, employee starts off trading his time for money because that's what he has of value inside the marketplace right now. He's going to trade his time for money. So obviously, what do you do? What does that mean? That means you take a job interview and someone tells you how much they're going to pay you. Maybe you can negotiate. Most times you can't negotiate. And then this is what you're going to make per year. Obviously, it's just for showing up. This is what you're going to make per year. And that's an employee. And most of us, that's where we go and stay. Would you guys agree that most of us go here and stay here at this point in the quadrant?
Yes.
Most of us. If we think about our parents and their parents, they were employees. But you have a small select few that says, hold up, this is not where I want to be. I am not here. Hold on one second, baby. Give me 1 second. Nothing showing. All right, guys, I need to make sure. Can you guys see this screen?
Yes.
Yeah. If you hit the 51%, if you hit the button on the bottom right, you can see it better for some people that might not be able to see it. It's like a zoom button you can hit.
Okay.
Okay.
Baby, see if that works for you and let me know. We'll wait.
You have to probably hit fit to screen.
Yes, I got it now. Thanks.
All right, guys, I want to make sure that you guys are here and see this, right? Obviously, right? Being an employee, when you decide to negotiate your salary a year in advance, this is where you are. But what the smarter individual does, or better yet, and I say smarter because I say smarter with all due respect, because some people believe in being an employee, and it's for some. I will say that. But for people like us, right, and the people who have decided to take our fate into our own hands, and we took an all commission paying job, and we speak to people every day, and we deal with the losses and the effects that it has on us from day to day, because it does have an effect on us. We're pretty crazy, you know, after a year of doing this, right? I'm sorry, guys. Let me make sure that I mute you guys. Now, Crystal, I got you muted now. All right. So obviously, how to move from an employee mindset to a self-employed mindset is first know who you are. Know inside of you right now that you want more than you can budget for. You know how you see somebody inside the mall, right? And they're walking around, obviously, and they see something that they want, but then they think to themselves like, man, I got a budget to have this. I could possibly pick this up. Let me put this on layaway. That's why things like layaway was invented, right? Let me put a little bit down now, or let me start saving now. Hopefully in the next month or so, I'll be able to get this. That's that employee, to me, what an employee mindset becomes at this point. But if you say to yourself, no, I want to be able to walk through the mall free, and I want to be able to purchase anything that I want to be, then what do I need? Then I need to start thinking for myself. Then I need to start investing just more than just my time. I need to put up all of my resources, and I need to become self-employed. And when you do that, right, you just decide to yourself to say, okay, great. I'm willing to put up more of my time into this, right? So an employee, they schedule 40 hours per week. Self-employed, you might just work 60 hours per week. That's the hard truth of it, right? Do you think that's what deters people from becoming self-employed?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It could be. A lot of the times it's the hard work. Like, no, I can't do that. That's too hard. How many of you guys have already told somebody what you do and they look at you like you got 3 heads? Like, what? I'm never going to do that. I need a real job that pays me. Right? I know you guys have all experienced it. I say this to you guys because I want you guys to identify these times in your life where the universe was saying to you, it is time for you to get around better quality people. It's time for you to be around people that's more like-minded like yourself. Because when you become self-employed, not only does you're in America, so obviously you get more tax benefits, guys. And that's what Robert Kiyosaki teaches inside this book. He teaches us that the rich don't work for money. They work to learn. They do not work for money. They work to learn. Now, obviously, we all start off working for money because that's what we know. We need money to survive. We need money for rent. We need money for these kids. We need money for these shoes, this bag we want, all of that stuff. But then when you become self-employed, the goal is obviously you're almost guaranteed to make more money as long as you're willing to put in the work, obviously, as long as you're selling a product for profit and you do that multiple times, obviously the money will be there because you're no longer negotiating your salary a year in advance. But this is a total mindset that most people don't get. And that's why I suggest the book to each and every one of you guys. But let's just take it a little bit step further, because once you do break free of the employee mindset, which obviously, by the way, let me not forget, guys, this is where you're taxed the worst at. They take the money before you even see it, guys. A $2,000 check will only be about $1,350 once tax hit it. And now you got $1,350, even though you're making $2,000 per week. And then what do? You buy stuff. And what can you buy without tax on it?
Yeah, this man.
Reggie, let me make sure that you're muted. What can you buy without tax on it? So now you're taxed again, aren't you? So now it's even less money that you actually have to actually spend. So with that being said, obviously, that's the benefit of becoming self-employed. Now, everybody here at this company is what? An employee or self-employed?
Self-employed.
Everybody here is self-employed, Tiffany. Happy birthday again. Everybody here is self-employed, right? Do you think you made the right choice?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every day working to learn makes you more money, not working for money, right? Because the simple solution and how you become wealthy is what Robert Kiyosaki teaches us. By the way, this book now has been a bestseller for 30 plus years, a bestseller for 30 plus years. If you don't read this book, you do not want to understand financial literacy and you do not want to get ahead in life. And we have to be able to get ahead in life. So, and the answer is right here inside of this book. So what I want to do is I want to take it a little bit further because it's like, Q, what's beyond self-employed? Anybody want to know what's beyond self-employed?
Financial freedom.
Business owner.
Business owner. That's what comes next. After you become an independent contractor, you've been self-employed, then obviously you want to deploy more of your skill set into the world. You want to be able to benefit not just yourself, but benefit others by being able to teach them what you know and being able to build something that allows you to make even more money while helping others. A lot of times we think of it as such a selfish trait, but it is not. It is truly the American way. And Reggie, you have to stay on mute. All right, guys. Anybody know what comes after business owner?
Investor.
Investor. You must have read the book. Darling, have you read this book?
Yeah, years ago. I need to read it again.
Let me say this, right? Key principles that you will take with you for the rest of your life. Who suggested this book to you?
Investors.
Investors, right? Thank God you got around somebody that was willing to teach you.
Yeah.
Is information free, guys?
Yes.
Yep.
But how often will people charge you for the information?
Depends on what level they at.
I say this to you because obviously the information is free, but you have to bring value to be able to get it for free. If not, and you're lazy, then you need to pay for it.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I suggest you do pay for it. You get an accountability partner with you, and you get the information broken down into the tips that you actually need so that you can go deploy more of these strategies. And there's nothing wrong with it. But my goal today was just to make sure that you guys fully understand and that you guys are fully invested inside of your future. You can't be fully invested inside your future if you do not understand what the future looks like. So obviously you can take any way through this strategy. You can go from employee to investor. Some people do that. Some people work and then they live frugally and then they save as much money away. And then over the course of the next 20 years, they're going to put so much money into the S&P. And then 20 years later, maybe they got $1 million+. Very doable, quite doable. Oftentimes is the way that many people do it. Some people, they start off as an employee, understand that, hold up, I can sell a product for profit. They become self-employed. They make a whole lot of money so that they can start investing, right? So they went from employee, self-employed to investor. There is the way that worked, right? I just want to draw this for you, right? Some people go from employee straight to investor. They can win that way, right? Some people go from employee to self-employed so that they make enough money to take care of their lifestyle and store enough away, and now they're an investor. That happens as well. Some people go from employee to self-employed to business owner, then to investor. right? So they hit all 4 things on this quadrant. Pick and decide which way is going to be your way and stay there. Lock in, get focused, have a game plan to be able to create real wealth. Here at this company here, we want to make sure that you guys are achieving your goals. We want to make sure that you have the information so that you can go as far as humanly possible. Why? Because I one day want to say to myself, man, let me call what's name and see what she's doing. Let me call such and see how he's doing. Matter of fact, I can see how they doing. I just seen them on whatever social media is new and unique now at this point, and they killing it out here. They in front of people, talking to people, and not for nothing, but I am going to take a little bit of credit. I am going to say, hey, man, listen, I sparked that energy. I took time to cultivate that new leader there, that one that's doing great for this world. The same world that my son and my kids and the rest of my kids are being brought up in. So I say to you guys, I hope for you guys take this information and run with it, because the runway is clear. You are clear for takeoff. I think that's what they say when it's time to take off on a plane. You are clear for takeoff, and you're the pilot. No one is in your way here. We have removed all barriers. One thing you got to keep in mind is that you're going to need to help as many people as possible to become successful. So stay focused and Godspeed. I will speak to you guys next week. I hope that fires you up. I hope that puts some fire in your belly. And I hope you pick up this book. I love you all. I'll speak to you guys next week. Let's get it.
Thank you.
Later.